it's love. Oh, baby, it's love. You have to know it's love. Oh, it's love. I won't tell, baby, it's love. Oh, baby, it's love, yeah.
Alright, we're just gonna skip intros tonight. What up? We're already late. Sorry about that. One moment.
Okay, so with rice, I always get that. The water part. I never understand. I have 2 cups of rice.
2 cups of water. Wash the rice.
I already did.
Okay.
And I used one of those new strainers.
Okay, good. Thank you.
It worked wonderfully.
Good.
It came out clear water.
Great. Jesus Christ. All right. So I'm gonna be watching Power Slap tonight, but there's always a long gap in between fights, so we'll in between each Power Slap fight, we'll talk whatever about what you guys want to talk about. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm not gonna do it on Discord. You guys want to watch along? Just go to Rumble. But that's where this. I know it started at 7. Oh, 7:30. Oh, good. Doesn't start for another 10 minutes. Good. I haven't missed anything. All right. Okay. All right. I have roughly about 12 minutes to get you guys caught up to speed as to what's been going on. So, first of all, as you guys know, I think I mentioned this numerous times. My grandmother was not doing too well, so it's imminent now. She'll probably be passing on soon. She's not eating anymore. She's having a hard time swallowing. She's lost an excessive amount of weight. So that was she's still kick ass. I mean, she this was like 2 weeks ago. I got this news. Um, so I was hoping to get a chance to see her. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So that's one thing. Raven almost kicked the bucket. Yeah, she had a whole box of Raisinets. Uh, Cost me $500 to get her treatment. She had to get a charcoal treatment. So basically, it's like a charcoal based food they had to feed her, and the charcoal is supposed to absorb the toxins from the raisins. It's the raisins that are really the issue. So thank God that was taken care of. My kids are having a hard time in school. Emily is, yeah, my daughter's having a hard time. She's been suspended for a semester um, because she brought a knife to school. So there's that. My son is not doing nearly as bad, but he's having a rough time. So that's been probably the biggest one. Is my daughter right now? She just continues to get bullied to the point that she's just reacting. Um, so now we're fighting the school again. That's another big thing because obviously we don't want her to be suspended for a semester. I do think she deserves a suspension because she brought a knife to school. We don't know how that's gonna that's not good. So those two things have been a big thing. I feel like I'm missing quite a number of things. There's been a lot in the last 2 weeks that have happened. But those are like the big ones. My kids, my dog, and my grandmother. And yeah, so that's what's been keeping me off of YouTube. Basically, that's what's been keeping me off of YouTube. Just a lot of shit that we're tackling right now. But we keep going. We keep moving forward. You know, I'll defend my daughter as best I can, but she also needs to be taught a valuable lesson about not doing what she did. We'll see how that turns out. Um, yeah, and I think that's everything. I think I'm missing a couple of things, but there are probably just minor things that didn't help. But those are like the four big ones. Raven almost died. My grandmother's about to die, and us versus the school system again. So, yep. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. But we are not here to gloom and doom for 2 hours. We're here to chillax, catch up, see how you guys have been doing. Um, Month and 6 weeks away from Godzilla. Holy shit. Time flies. Can you believe that? 6 weeks away? Wow. Incredible. No, and I appreciate that. It's just the whole goal was when I got here, content would increase, and I haven't done shit. I started to, but life always gets in the way. New trailer next week, possibly. What would that be like? Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, that's about right. About 6 weeks away from the movie. That should be about right. Actually, you know what? Since this hasn't started yet, maybe I will put it on Discord. So I know you guys are more likely to watch on Discord than you are on Rumble. So let's see here. Here we are. So if you want to watch along with the fights tonight, you can go into Discord. I'll open the watch along room. You guys know the rules. You go into the room. Make sure your mic's muted. My mic in Discord will be muted, but obviously I'll be talking on the stream. So let me just set that up. Let's see here. General chats, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Watch party chat. Why is that? Something wrong with this? Oh, that's why. Watch party voice chat. All right. I'm in there. I'm muted. Yes. Let's share screen. So I am in Watch Party voice chat. It should be the open one, I think. Yeah, it should be the open one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, that's the one. All right. I'll have to mute the stream for audio so we don't get copyright. Put volume up on here. All right. All right, so if you want to watch along with Power Slap, it doesn't start for like another 5 minutes. But if you want to watch along, like I said, I'll be in Watch Party voice chat showing it there. You guys can watch along with me. So YouTuber came out with a terrible Godzilla take. He has been getting ripped apart. Which YouTuber is this? Well, what did he say, first of all? Any plans to do a leak stream? I'm not sure, Nuts. I gotta be honest, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Godzilla right now. I haven't been paying attention. So, if there are new leaks, I'm clueless as to what they are. But if you're referring to the original leaks, I think we did that already. Okay. Thank you, Doom. It's also on Rumble. Nuts. It's called Power Slap. They're already live, so if you type in Power Slap, it'll pop up. What's going on, Slick? Did it not? My volume is kind of weird right now. The videos is bad. Well, what's the name of the YouTuber? Who is he? Maybe we can check it out real quick before this starts. I'd like to watch it. He spread completely false information about Godzilla despite him. Dr. Skipper? Alright, let's check it out. We'll mute this for now. Dr. Skipper. Close this. Close that. Close that. Dr. Skipper. Videos. God, is it Godzilla doesn't work in America? Is that what it is? It's called America Doesn't Understand Godzilla. Okay. That's the one? Okay, let's check it out real quick before this. I'll take it off. Okay, let's see here. We'll share screen on this.
I could swallow up, bottle up, I'll pull it up, feel like Godzilla. Get out the way, Eminem! This is my video! Gojira, also known as Godzilla, is the most popular piece of Japanese media ever created. Let's just pretend anime is not a thing, okay, for like 20 minutes. Godzilla is so popular that a lot of people didn't even know that it originated in Japan, or that it's in the public domain in the United States, since Toho, the company that created Godzilla, never expected the freak lizard to get Marvelized one day. So they didn't renew and manipulate the copyright system like a certain company that does with all their beloved IPs.
Walt Disney?
Breaking news, Mickey Mouse is now public domain. Oh wait, never mind, just Steamboat Willie. Not even that. The name is still claimed by Disney, so the only legal way to name it is Boat Rat Drives Boat. But this free copyright for Godzilla is only in America. In Japan, our boy is still in shackles. But even in the United States, with freedom, hot dogs, gunslinging, and that one place.
Have you ever been to Ohio, sir?
No.
Japan still tried to sue the red, white, and blue because, well, you missed the shots you don't take, Luka Doncic. I'm not Japanese, and I was born in 2002, the same year Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla came out, alongside Mike's new car. Does this have anything to do with Godzilla? No, it doesn't, but I'm keeping it in the video anyway. So yeah, I didn't really know anything about Godzilla for most of my life, other than its influence on American culture. I knew more about Reptar and Shelly from Frankenweenie than the real Godzilla. But then in 2014, when I was 12 playing, I don't know, GTA 5?
Oh, my N-word, huh?
The first Americanized version of Godzilla came out. Yes, the first, because 1998 never happened. Jesus Christ. Fast forward to now, 2024. Japan has released a new Godzilla film starring Eminem's hit album, Kamikaze.
Zombie brains make for bad sushi.
And in the States, Godzilla is now collaborating with King Kong in what looks to be a brand new Fortnite event, which isn't that much of a stretch since they were in Call of Duty, for some reason. I know 2024 just started, and we haven't had a Skipper video in a while since he was rotting away during the holidays. New year, new me, alright? We're back. Don't all clap at once. But let's go back to 2014 to examine the playing field and how we got here. Godzilla is super interesting to me. After the 2014 movie, I grew up and went to school and played video games and doodled in math books that cost a lot of money, but I didn't care because look at this drawing. Homie. But then at age 16, I was activated.
Does this ever get to the topic at hand? Like, we're like almost 3 minutes in, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. It just looks like one giant meme. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Well, I mean, the video, he should be talking, but we're like 3 minutes in and he wasn't hitting the topic.
Eventually, I started learning stuff for myself in film history, okay? I was hitting the books. Books being video essays from other idiot film geeks online. Thus, I went down in a really big Godzilla rabbit hole. And it gave me a big appreciation for the creature, its impact on filmmaking, and made me reevaluate how I look at the Godzilla brand as a whole. Also, there's a big thing I need to address in this video. I kinda hate Godzilla, if we're gonna be honest.
Get the f*** out, man!
To make this really easy for you to understand, Godzilla has what I like to call the Jurassic Park effect. Jurassic Park is a great movie that has cool dinosaurs and sexy Jeff Goldblum, but the film still has heavy messaging.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here. See, nobody cares.
It's a critique on corporations and Walt Disney-like figures that try to play God on the grounds of greed. They also like to suspend my Twitter account for impersonating Harrison Ford, which I didn't do. Totally.
Answer me, you black son of a bitch!
The Raptors and T-Rex are awesome, this is very true, but they aren't just there for the sake of existing. The dinosaurs have a bigger purpose to the overall film, thus making Jurassic Park still iconic to this day. It also kind of revolutionized CGI and changed the landscape of film, yada yada, but Jurassic Park, yeah, the IP is now just CGI wars with Chris Pratt. I don't know what the hell a carbine rifle is gonna do to dinosaurs. I mean, Mark Wahlberg used a gun to fight metal alien.
Alright, I don't necessarily disagree with him there in regards to Jurassic Park.
I give up. And while still making a lot of money, because they sure as hell did that.
Alright, so alright, let's skip ahead a little bit.
In the first place. So they spammed out Godzilla films. He's fighting bugs. He's fighting mechanized versions of himself. He's fighting three-headed dragons. He's doing shit like this. Because why the hell not? And some of the films are fun, I'll admit it, but for the most part, a lot of the legacy of Godzilla just reeks of cheaply made cash grabs. So when Godzilla turned into a cartoon for kids, a lot of adults stopped caring.
What is this shit?
So then the cycle reset, and this time Goji went to America, where the same thing happened again. We got a serious Godzilla, then people complained that it was too serious with not enough Godzilla, so the franchise became Looney Tunes. And the sequel somehow had worse human characters, and then people got annoyed with Millie Bobby Brown, the fat kid from Deadpool, and Alfred from Atlanta spilling water on a computer to fry Mechagodzilla's motherboard to save the day. And this made some people not really like Godzilla that much anymore. And now Japan has gone back to reset that cycle, and from ground zero, we got a breath of fresh air again. So yeah, Godzilla is in a constant battle of balance between being really serious and being really stupid, but the good is really good, so let's talk about that good. It's 1925. Some dude named Harry Hoyt made a stop-motion dinosaur movie called The Lost World, not the one with sexy Jeff Goldblum and people started making some movies.
I'm just gonna skim through this until you get to the part, whatever part that you guys are talking about.
Japan was hyped. They threw a little party even, thinking that they just did something crazy. Then Toho Studios made a fake propaganda film about the bombing that looked so real it even convinced the USA that it was real footage. America wasn't having it. Chester, call in the big guns. Ring ring, yeah, hello Robert J. Oppenheimer, you're needed immediately. He then smoked his little pipe, put on his little hat, and played a game of telephone with his communist friends. Allegedly. Allegedly. He got tasked to make a big bomb codenamed Operation Manhattan. He then went to Los Alamos, New Mexico to cook. But somehow the guy who cooks in New Mexico got called Heisenberg instead of Oppenheimer. Like me after editing 30 seconds of this video, and Japan was now under new management. In 1946, Honda came back to Japan to see that Hiroshima was decimated, and then went back to making movies. America had control over Japan, and said no more propaganda, no more emperor, and worst of all, women can now vote. Alright, who put that in the script? Was it you? Don't fucking lie to me. 1953, no more strict laws about propaganda. Happy Japan. Fishing. We know you love ethical fishing. Yeah, Japan was pissed, and rightfully so. And this controversy pushed Toho producer Tomoyaki Tanaka to want to make a political film related to nuclear war. Like King Kong, America was once again the blueprint, with the beast from 20,000 Honda didn't want to make the film to get cheers and applause. It wasn't a film that was made to be a good laugh or to be an entertaining blockbuster. Quite the opposite, actually. Gojira was made with the intention of invoking fear and anxiety while also raising awareness about the looming threat of nuclear war. Testing of that hydrogen bomb affected Japan and got Gojira made in the first place. Godzilla is used throughout the film in strategic ways, representing chaos to human characters rather than being used as a sole spectacle, which benefits the film since that level of restraint makes Godzilla a spectacle anyway by default. His destruction of Japan is to represent the atomic bomb used on both Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And it's sad and scary, and this is elevated by the human characters that are portrayed to be survivors of a tragedy. The ending of the film even has this Oppenheimer-like character sacrifice himself to kill Godzilla with his own made atomic creation. And the reason he sacrifices himself is for the sake of Gojira was still made on thin ice due to the hot tensions with the US, so the US is never blamed for Godzilla's creation in the film, but even without the politics of Japan and the US, Gojira is still objectively a war film that provoked a lot of discussion and thought. For 1954, the film is serious and gritty. The human characters serve a purpose, Godzilla serves a purpose. It pushes so many standards in the special effects world as well. Rat drives boat to me, since I see the character more as a man versus nature, rather than fighting toys for children. This is why Godzilla 2014 by Gareth Edwards is the best version of Godzilla in the States. But even then, Godzilla doesn't really work in the United States. 2014 Godzilla is the most grounded of the MonsterVerse films, having the most restraint while using Godzilla on frame in unique ways. It's still one of the best looking Godzilla films due to the directing by Gareth Edwards that relies a ton on perspective shots. This sentiment was even kept 9 years later in a spin-off show called Monarch that treated 2014 Godzilla the same way, even with it being abandoned in later films to a different visual style. Before even getting the reveal of Godzilla in 2014, you could feel his scale. While being smaller than both his King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong variations, he feels the most massive in this movie. Even for the antagonist Mutos, perspective shots are still filmed from the human perspective, making the creatures scale massively. It makes the monsters feel like real threats.
Alright, so far, he hasn't said anything off color to me. You know, I mean, I don't agree with the fact that I don't agree with him saying it doesn't work in America. Clearly, that's not correct. That's not right because, I mean, the MonsterVerse has been going on for 10 years, but so far, I don't see anything that I would consider dumb
in the human world, and seeing the monsters from the eyes of kids on a bus, Marines on a halo jump, or a shot from the evacuation center makes this obvious fiction feel grounded. 2014 Godzilla is really good on this front, with a lot of homages to the filming of 1954's Gojira, before the direction became really stylized, since average moviegoers didn't like barely seeing the monsters, with human characters taking most of the screen time, and when they did see the monsters it was really dark. But even with the more stylish change later, the human characters ended up being worse somehow, giving them more importance than shitty plot lines. But 2014's human problem has a lot to do with how Godzilla is structured and how it being in the US hinders its storytelling. American Godzilla as a whole is an oxymoron thing to begin with. A thing made to represent America's atomic bomb in Japan is now being used for American heroism. So because of this, you can't really get that much depth with Godzilla, since he's the protagonist ally to the American military. The US doesn't have the same history of catastrophe as Japan did with the atomic bomb, and America is also obsessed with patriotism. So instead of making Godzilla an allegory for the consequences of mankind's actions, or have a much larger depth of Godzilla being a force of nature against the United States, he's now instead Superman, where he gets recontextualized to be Superman, which is hilarious when you rewatch 2014's Godzilla with this perspective after watching Japanese Godzilla films. First off, that hydrogen bomb test that destroyed the Lucky Dragon 5, which got the 1954 movie made in the first place, well, now the history has changed, and the hydrogen bomb was used to attack Godzilla on that test drop to protect the greater mankind, and it accidentally made him bigger. And after being threatened by this walking nuke and realizing there's nothing the US could do about it, it's now going to be the savior to America against the Japanese threat that was forced out of hiding by humanity that then attacks Hawaii, where then the Japanese threat gets killed by a walking nuke that goes down in a heroic sacrifice, and then he decides he's got one more in him, so he gets up and everyone claps for him as fighter jets fly by, saving the day as he goes back into the water. Take in mind, like, thousands of people have probably died to Godzilla, and by the looks of it, evacuation seems to be terrible. It's funny when watching it because at first Godzilla isn't even the main focus of this Godzilla movie. It's this Japanese threat that Walter White was warning everyone about, and then Godzilla only comes on screen to handle business. And when he's attacked by the US military, at first he doesn't even retaliate or go beast mode. This dude is only hyper-focused on destroying this Japanese threat, and shares this sparkle with the main character where they save each other. It's quite beautiful actually how much Godzilla cares about the whole world. No, he just cares about the US, because when he goes to China, even that shit gets absolutely decimated in his ego fight with the gorilla. Making Godzilla Superman is strange, and later in the Monsterverse they try to add depth to this. Like, look, he actually killed a bus full of children, and this company called Monarch is really shady with documentation and control, and the whole world is still full of PTSD, which is cool at first, but then you remember this is the same guy in the same world where he teamed up with a monkey to fight a robot version of him that was made by a three-headed dragon that got defeated because water was spilt on the computer, and then Godzilla and the monkey are teaming up to fight more monkeys, and now there's a baby monkey, and now he's pinking in Fortnite. Yeah, it's over. American Godzilla doesn't really stand for anything. Even in the 2014 film, the human characters are just a guy we follow around and his family. The United States military is skeptical at first of Godzilla's involvement, but then they just accept that he is the only hero capable of stopping the Mutos, and all is fine. There's no discussion or nuance about anything in the world. The Mutos that were awakened are instantly vilified without any nuance either. These things were forced to wake up, and all they wanted to do was produce and have kids, but their children were blown up by Quicksilver, then the parents were murdered by Godzilla, and everyone still claps in the end, even though everything's still in shambles and a shitload of people died. This is drastically different from the 1954 version, where Godzilla is treated as a victim, even after he terrorizes and kills a bunch of innocent Japanese people. And instead of clapping when the threat is gone, the audience is instead reminded that Godzilla never needed to happen in the first place, and that because of bomb testing, he's now also robbed of life. American Godzilla being a Superman figure is really safe and boring and makes no sense due to the origins of the character. 2014 Godzilla isn't flawed because it has human characters and barely shows Godzilla with only a little bit of action.
So basically, it sounds like his issue is that he likes, obviously, the more. This is really no different than people arguing that they prefer a more serious Godzilla. I mean, I don't. I mean, I know we're only 16 minutes in, but I don't see anything really unique about his argument. I mean, we've heard this before. And I think that there's room for both, obviously. There's Godzilla -1 and 54. You got all those serious movies that everybody universally likes. And then you got the cheesy action flicks. And it sounds to me like he's complaining that it's Americanized. Well, I mean, it's made in America by American people. What do you expect? You know?
action fights, because as we see later, those movies are even worse. 2014 is flawed because it doesn't stand for anything, and is a safe depiction that makes this Americanized monster a hero without anything to say. And I know 1954 is old, and that movie is aged, but recently a movie has come out that has blown all the Godzilla movies in the past 10 years out the water, and it was from Toho Studios, where Godzilla is back in Japan, and that movie was Takashi Yamazaki's Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One was why I made this entire video, because it might be the best Godzilla movie ever made, and it actually made me feel something. I'm a big box office pessimist, and lately American blockbusters have been safe, generic, and boring, which is no surprise that they've been flopping left and right because people are burnt out of high-budget mediocrity. So to watch a Godzilla movie with compelling human characters, nuanced discussion with critiques on the Japanese government, while having havoc and consequences that feel impactful, while also having an antagonist that is menacing, threatening, and terrifying, all done with $15 million, was beyond satisfying. If it wasn't obvious from the games industry, with companies like From Software and Nintendo, Japan could cook up some pretty cool shit. Godzilla Minus One makes American Godzilla look like an embarrassment, because it does everything better. Like 1954, Godzilla isn't a character, but more of a natural disaster. And for a natural disaster to have impact, first...
Alright, so this boiled down to another person who just, they're gushing about Minus One, and with good reason. Obviously, we all know Minus One was excellent, and it is one of the best Godzilla movies ever made. It is not the best Godzilla movie ever made, but it is definitely one of the best. And yeah, overall, is it better than some of the MonsterVerse movies in terms of storytelling, characterization? Absolutely. I don't think anybody would. You'd have to be a fool to disagree with that. But again, I don't see the benefit of putting one universe down and uplifting the other, especially when the IPs are the same. So, yeah, we all know it came from Japan originally. We all know that the best Godzilla movies are produced by Japan in terms of obviously Minus One, 54. To some extent, Shin Gojira. I know a lot of people love Shin Gojira. I'm not a fan personally. But let's not forget that this, again, I reiterate this a million times. You guys know this. Without the MonsterVerse, you would have never have gotten Shin Gojira. You would have never have gotten Minus One. And that is where I think the MonsterVerse has been effective. Obviously, he's not a fan of the more campy, fun, high-budget, action-based, little attention to story or detail or characters. He wants the more serious Minus One type Godzilla movies. And that's fine. Hey, you're entitled to like whichever one you want. Me personally, I like both. And I don't see the problem with either one of them, but some people are fans of one and other people are fans of the other. It doesn't sound like he's saying, I don't know, again, we got like 9 minutes left in the video. He hasn't really said anything idiotic so far, so I don't know why he's getting so much shit, but we'll continue watching.
First, you need compelling people to be impacted. I cared about the human characters in this film, and I hated Godzilla for what he did to them. But the reason why the human characters were so impactful was because of Japan and how it's depicted. Japan is a place in history that has been through a lot of shit, which makes it a great setting for Godzilla because it goes hand to hand with its creation, like we said earlier. After World War II, Japan was in a low state, and the victims of both Hiroshima and Nagasaki, as well as the firebomb victims, were innocent people caught in the crossfire between feuding militaries. The movie takes place right after World War II with Japan at its lowest point, which brings up a huge point for why this movie exists. It's once again an anti-war film where you're...
Okay, but here, see, and this is where I have a problem. So, he's talking about all the things that happened to Japan, World War II, with America and this and that, almost making Japan sound like victims. And this is where history is so important. You have to understand just the amount of damage and death and shit that Japan caused as well. Okay? Japan attacked America. We didn't attack Japan. If you can't finish something, and look, you want to call me an Americana for saying this? That's fine, because this is my country. I'm a patriot. They bombed us. They started it. It was a vicious, ugly war that spanned over almost 5 years. And we pushed them back. We pushed them to the brink. We gave them an opportunity on more than one occasion to surrender. They had no chance of coming back. They were about to be invaded by Russia. The prime minister, or the emperor for that matter, continued to persuade and make his people believe that they had a chance to win. He essentially lied to his people. He forced America's hand, and America dropped the bomb. Two things can be true at once. America dropping a bomb was a horrific ordeal. I don't think anybody here would agree with that, would disagree with that. But let's not forget, it takes two to tango. They had no chance to win the war. They were warned. America did not want to invade the country because they would have lost more lives. There would have been more people dead if America had to go in by ground and invade than there were during the bombings. And that sounds horrible. It's the lesser of two evils. If America invades Japan, you're looking at millions upon millions of dead civilians, army members, possibly political figures on Japanese ends, because they would have probably been assassinated. You dropped two bombs, you killed a combined, 320,000 people instantly between the two bombs. And then over the course of 10, 20, 30 years, obviously more people died. But the amount of people that died because of those two bombs versus the amount of people that would have died based on an invasion wouldn't have been close. It would not have been close. And Japan is not innocent here. How can you tell your people we're going to win this war? Those people didn't have a choice. They didn't get an opportunity to decide whether or not they wanted to surrender. You know what I mean? I know that for the most part, most Japanese people would have fought on. That's just how they were. But you had an opportunity to prevent what happened. You could have said, you know what? You're on our back door. We got Russia on our front door. We yield. But they didn't. They kept kamikaze bombing American troops. It was like a 1 death to 100 plus ratio for every kamikaze bomb. And we're supposed to feel bad? If we hadn't done that, God only knows how many people would have died in that war. So I'm kind of tired. You know, I love Japan. Look, I love Japan. It's a great country. If I wasn't so afraid of flying, I would love to visit it. And I know the culture is great. I know the people are very pleasant. But in terms of history, let's not forget about the massacre that they caused before we even got into a fight with them. Before we even fired a shot at Japan, they had already killed over 3,000 people. And then we want to play like they're the victim? No. Neither America nor Japan are the victim. They fought a war. War is ugly. War sucks. People die. Bombs are dropped. Period.
You're reminded that the Imperial Japan military was not great and that the modern Japanese government is not that great either. Japanese studios such as Ghibli and even films like 1954's Godzilla tend to only depict Japan as the victims to catastrophe from the United States. But something to remember is that after Japan's very flawed attack on Pearl Harbor, Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto wrote this in his diary after Pearl Harbor. "I fear all we have done is awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with terrible resolve." It makes sense why Japan is very anti-
Yeah. All right, so at least he acknowledged it. At least he said, "Hey, they're not victims here," and they're not.
War after what the atomic bomb did to them. But
I again, I love the country, man, but I'm tired of like Godzilla fans licking the boots of Japan, forgetting your history. These motherfuckers killed over 3,000 Americans before we even fired a shot, and we're supposed to feel bad for them. I feel bad for the innocent people. I feel bad for the innocent people who didn't have a choice to surrender. But I don't feel bad for defeating them. They were killing the people that were protecting my rights. They were deliberately sacrificing their own lives to kill numbers and numbers of Americans. And if we had not stopped them, God only knows what they would have done to the west coast of this country.
Old Japanese media has a massive trend of playing victim in history when, even before the atomic bombs, Japan's military was notorious for conquering other nations and being really brutal, committing tons.
Yeah, nobody ever mentions the 6 million people they killed in China during that time, right? They weren't even at war with China. They were just killing them, trying to take over their land, and they took over a lot of it. Look, I'm going to say it. Japan was evil back in those days. People don't want to admit that. Either they don't know, they forget. But let's not pretend like these motherfuckers were like angels.
Of war crimes in their history. The Japanese military also had no value for human life, brainwashing an entire nation that dying for said nation was one of the most honorable things you could do. It's why they had.
We are almost 20 minutes in. I don't see a problem with this video. I don't know why people are losing their shit.
Things like kamikaze pilots and seppuku. This is why Imperial Japan and American media is portrayed to be so relentless and brutal, not caring if they lived or died. Because for the most part, they didn't care if they lived or died. It was expected that you were going to die in combat. Like I said earlier, with media like Oppenheimer and nuclear war being a really big issue today, the atomic bomb debate is now fresh again. But with everything aside, without the atomic bomb drop, Japan would have continued relentless war with the United States. So while I know Godzilla 1954 is very much still an anti-war film about how nukes are bad, showing what Japan went through, it does brush past that Japan's military threw a stone at the United States, killing United States civilians when they were well aware they were never going to win a conflict with the United States, but still did it anyway since they needed to get resources from claimed US lands that were under embargo laws. So Pearl Harbor was an attack on the US Navy to demoralize the US, but they didn't attack the repair yards, so it was pointless anyway, and got their whole nation nuked in retaliation. So while the ethics of the atomic bomb can be debated, Japan's military put their civilians in harm's way for no reason, which is why modern.
I actually love this video. This dude is literally saying exactly what I just said. I don't understand why people, you know why? I think it's because of him saying what he's saying. People are not liking it.
Day Japan is more resentful of Imperial Japan when it comes to anti-war rather than the United States. Japan during the 1910s to 1920s was in a really good innovative period called the Taisho Jidai. Japan was transitioning to more of a Western democratic government with a lot of Western influence impacting culture, arts, politics, and many other avenues. I need to clearly state that Japan and Japan's military are two different things. Japan's military was a parasite to the Japanese government taking control from the inside, which as we know was the demise of Japan itself. I joked about it earlier, but people like Ishiro Honda, who made the original Godzilla, was even at fault for this. While he acknowledged how horrific war was, he still made propaganda films for the Japanese military, which led to this cancer spreading. Propaganda and military control started dragging Japanese society into their conflicts. Men were expected to go to war and die. It was seen as honorable to serve and die for your military. This is why I prefer -1 to the original 1954 movie, because -1 is critical to the Japanese government. Godzilla in the film is going against the normal Japanese people. The government is no help and doesn't intervene, and neither does the US, because if they did, the film would be over in like 2 seconds. But -1 is a critique to the Japanese government's beliefs and values in World War II. The main character is a kamikaze pilot that is full of survivor's guilt because he didn't fulfill the military standards of giving your own life for a government that doesn't really care about you. He is judged by his neighbors for not killing himself in war, and is hateful of himself, struggling with survivor's guilt for also not killing himself in war. The film directly critiques Japan's old views of not valuing human life, or how Japan didn't care about anyone's life really at all. And while Godzilla is still an allegory for the nuclear bomb, the film really conveys how it was the everyday people who had to pick up the pieces and deal with the fallout. Godzilla -1 is an unbiased masterclass when it comes to being an anti-war film. So much so that you could remove Godzilla from it, and it would still be an amazing standalone film. Which brings us back to why America can't do Godzilla. Back in 1954, when Godzilla came to the US, it was censored and remarketed to look like a fun blockbuster, similar to something like The Beast of 20,000 Fathoms, cutting 20 minutes of crucial political discussion, where then after the main lead was an inserted American reporter, where then the critiques of America's nuclear testing and nuclear power were also censored and changed. 1956 Godzilla King of the Monsters is a spineless shit movie that gutted the original impact of the 1954 version, and represents how the United States often views critical media. So when we look at the depth of something like -1 and then go back to 2014, you see more cracks of how 2014 has nothing to say. My friend Sweets is Online gave me a quote when we were talking about this video. If you want to know what the biggest piggy bank is in the world, look at the United States military. Funding games like Call of Duty, documentary, movies like Top Gun, and many other pieces of media to display the United States military. You could get a lot of your budget paid when you display the military as heroic badasses. But now you have restrictions of being a puppet, not able to bite the hand that feeds you. United States propaganda is so prevalent that you might not even know it's propaganda. To film with American military technology and vehicles is expensive. Thus, why the Department of Defense will give you money, tax breaks, and access to display the military in your film in hopes that people might want to enlist. But the catch is that the DoD has to approve your script and messaging of how the military is depicted. Thus, we bring up Vietnam. The Vietnam War is heavily scrutinized in American history due to how badly they failed in that conflict and how it was overall pointless. So you have films that represent the brutality of the United States as well as the incompetence, like Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket. And surprise, surprise, they got no funding from the piggy bank. Also, you know that movie Forrest Gump where Sheriff Woody was in Vietnam? Well, that segment was critical of Vietnam, so the script was changed by the Department of Defense because if they didn't, they'd also get no money from the piggy bank. When you do more research yourself, you see how much America cares about their image due to the films being seen nationwide. So they make sure that America looks cool and noble no matter what, even if the truth might not be so. So when you see Godzilla 2014 with a budget of $160 million with American Navy and bomb squads and Air Force all helping Godzilla save the day, it's no surprise that the film had an agreement with the Department of Defense where they provided locations, vehicles, and military representation. And while at times the military is incompetent and kind of useless in the film, it's never acknowledged or critiqued with grand messaging. Because like I said, to bite the hand that feeds you is going to drop your budget from $160 million to low 50.
I mean, we all know this. Look, who, whether it's country, whether it's people, who's going to make a piece of media and make themselves look bad? Who's not going to want to have a good image on film? I mean, if you want to call that propaganda, fine. I mean, yeah, you can call it propaganda. But I mean, I have a lot of family that's been in the military. I have a lot of respect for the people who sacrifice their life, or at least, if nothing else, put their life on the line when they join the military. Have we always done things morally correct? Of course not. But at the same time, to do everything good, I think any military, especially the United States, has to have a gray area. You know? As long as these people are fighting for our rights and fighting to protect us, I'm not going to eat their lunch. As far as their representation in film, I don't give a shit if they have these rules to make them look good. Of course they're going to have those rules. They're the fucking military. Anybody in that position would take advantage to want to make themselves look good. I don't see... I mean, yeah, if you want to call it propaganda, fine, it's propaganda. But it's not anything... I don't think it's anything that people don't know already. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, I think it's pretty common knowledge. It's not the first time I've heard this.
$15 million like Godzilla.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Mr. O. He doesn't mention that part. That is an important part. It's definitely not a perfect video. There are some things he just kind of brushes over. Whether he did it innocently, like he just forgot or didn't know, or whether he purposefully brushed over them to, you know, favor his message, which he probably might have. Again, it's his video. He's got to make himself look good. He's got to make his point sound good. So you're certainly not going to pick any information that's going to be counter to your argument. But again, I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt and just assume that he didn't know about that scene with Serizawa and the nuke.
-1. It's why Godzilla can't work in America. To be critical of the United States government requires you to be independent. And by how bloated the film industry is with high film budgets and how propaganda has affected how the Godzilla character is viewed, you make more money by having Godzilla be Superman, killing tons of innocent people where then they clap at him saving the day, rather than him destroying the United States with the government losing and being useless. And this has been a problem since 1956, when America turned a tragedy film to a blockbuster, gutting it of any meaning, and no surprise Godzilla King of the Monsters made way more money than Gojira. So much so that Japan stopped calling him Gojira and took on Godzilla and repainted his image as the savior of Japan that fought giant monsters. 529 million, 387 million. They're making money, and that's all that matters now. But what is art, and how do we view art? Is a nothing blockbuster funded by the US military better than a $15 million Japanese film with a lot to say because it made more money? Is King of the Monsters better than Gojira since it made more money?
But I guess my question here is, I mean, yeah, sure. Of course, Godzilla. We said this already. Godzilla minus one, in many ways, in terms of story and character, development, of course, is better than 2014. But what he's ignoring about minus one is that it does have some glaring flaws. It is not a perfect movie. But again, this is just how it is. Like Godzilla minus one came out and everybody's like coming in their pants, not even acknowledging the flaws in the movie, which blows my mind. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, over time, people will realize it. Give it a year, people will start talking about the flaws of minus one. It always happens, but it's still fresh off the block. People are still gushing about it. It is what it is. And even with all its flaws, of course, it is one of the best Godzilla movies ever made. There's no doubt about that. But, the only feeling I get from this video, and he makes a lot of fair points. I think overall it's been a pretty good video. But the way I read this, he prefers more serious Godzilla movies. He prefers more messaging and perhaps political satire in his movies. And that's just a matter of flavor, not a matter of fact. You know what I mean? Again, it's his opinion. He prefers the more serious Godzilla minus one type movies. And he doesn't like the ones that Hollywood produces. And that's fine. That's nothing new. This is like par for the course.
We're beginning to look at box office as this risk-reward system, where studios don't see the risk of making something if it can't possibly 10 times its original budget. If Barbie didn't make $1 billion, was it a waste of time? If Oppenheimer didn't almost make $1 billion, was that too a waste of time? And this rubs off how we view movies. If something makes a lot of money, it must be good, and if a movie flops, it must be bad. It's the same as judging a book by its cover. Yes, there's movies that spend way too much money not being creative because they believe they could 10 times their budget by simply existing. But then we get films like Gojira and Godzilla minus one, which are real creative works of art that stand for something and matter aside from just money, and they need to be praised. But like how everything works, Godzilla isn't liked because of what it stands for, because what America saw was a cool giant monster that attacked Japan, not an allegory for nuclear war. And what they see now is a Superman figure that could sell toys. Godzilla has become a mascot to make money. It's why I can't enjoy the Looney Tunes version. It's why Godzilla can't work in America. But when it works in Japan, it works, and it works well.
Godzilla works in America just fine. The nuclear allegory that he mentions, I mean, like what, 70 years removed from that? I mean, it's kind of time to move on. Nobody's dropped a nuke. You know what I mean? Like, we understand that that's the core, and that's the core meaning of why Godzilla even exists. But that doesn't mean that it can't evolve into something else. It just so happens he doesn't like what it's evolved into. Again, perfectly fine. But that doesn't mean it's not entertaining. That doesn't mean that it shouldn't be made here. And that certainly doesn't mean it doesn't work here. It works. There are plenty of people that love the Monsterverse. So he just happens not to. And this is his reasoning and his opinion as to why he doesn't think it works. And that's fine. He's entitled to that, just like we all are.
But
I don't think he's right. Personally, I don't think he's right. But again, it's a matter of opinion.
If there's anything I can hope to get across with this video, it's to research the things you watch, and to give things with passion a try, even if you might not enjoy it. Some filmmakers actually give a shit about what they make, and use art to have a voice and tell stories without the dooming cloud of getting money from your pocket. Minus one is a must watch, but I fear, like 1954, it won't be acknowledged or talked about.
I appreciate the fact that he's talking about the art aspect of it, but let's be real. No artist can live on air. You know what I mean? No artist can live without making ends. There has to be a balance. Yes, you want to make a good story. You want to make an entertaining film. You want it to be artful. You want to express your artistic talents. But you still got to make money. You got to make money. You can be the best artist in the world. If your film doesn't make money, you're not going to get to express yourself again. So there has to be a balance there. I hate the fact that I'm defending Hollywood in this aspect, but if you want Hollywood to give you something entertaining, they have to make the money to do it. You know what I mean? And if they spit something out that you don't like, you don't go and see it. It's a really fine line. And there's some directors that do a great job. Obviously, Christopher Nolan has done an excellent job for the most part in his career, walking that fine line of making a film that has a good story, very entertaining, and at the same time, it makes good money. You know, you think about movies like Inception, right? You think about movies like what's the one with the magician? I keep forgetting the name of this one. It's one of my favorites too. Memento. Memento wasn't a big blockbuster movie, but it was really good and it did fine. You know, so like there's opportunities there to have balance. But when it comes to a kaiju movie, I get it. The general audience just wants to see the monsters in action. Period. That's what they want. That's what Hollywood's providing. Legendary makes the movies. The general audience consumes the movies. Legendary makes money. Everybody's happy. You don't have to like it. You don't have to watch it. But that's how it is. End of story. The Prestige. Thank you, Jonesy. Yeah, I like The Prestige. That was really good.
About in the masses, especially in America due to the subject matter and being a foreign film. 2014 Godzilla, you still look good and are shot very well and have the best roar, but you're nothing but a soulless, nothing piece of propaganda that breaks my heart. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. I now got a Patreon.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the whole propaganda shtick. You know what I mean? Like, that just sounds like trying to insert some sort of politics into it. I mean, yeah, if you look deep into any movie, you're gonna find some sort of message that you interpret. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it is. In terms of the military, only allowing filmmaking personnel to have access to their resources if they make them look good, what do they expect? What, they're gonna make them look bad? Of course not. Who would do that? So is that propaganda, or is that just ensuring that your institution is not made to look like a bunch of dumbasses? If you want to make the institution look like a dumbass, well then don't take. That's like someone paying you to make you look like an idiot, or you paying them to make you look like an idiot. But like, yeah, here's my resources. Here's some money. Here's some special effects props you can use. Go ahead and make me look like a complete asshole. That's idiocy. Who would do that? That doesn't make any sense. So it's not necessarily propaganda. More so it's like, yo, I'm giving you all these resources. You better make me look good. Anyone would say that. Anyone would say that. So it's two sides of the same coin for me. One side is Godzilla is imitating a villain, and the other side is a Kiss Hero Godzilla action comic book movie. Yes, it's cheesy, but it's cheddar, my favorite type of cheese. And there you have it. There you have it. Get a heart for that. Thank you for the 20,
one
Bobby.
awesome
I appreciate
motherfucker.
that. All right. Overall, though, I thought it was a good video. I liked it. I don't see what the problem is. All right, so he had a couple of mistakes with his
Bobby Reynolds
information.
super chatted $20. It's two sides of the same coin for me. One side is a Godzilla as imitating villain and the other side is a Kiss SS Hero Godzilla action comic book movie. Yes, it's chessy, but it's cheddar, my favorite type of cheese.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that, Miss L. Yeah, it's not every movie's propaganda. You know, if you want to say that Top Gun is propaganda, fine. That's so. So we have a movie where the American military is kicking ass. I don't got a problem with that. I want American military to kick ass. Hey, look,
You are
if the
one
military's
awesome
out there
motherfucker.
and they have to fight, go to war, whatever, we don't want them to. I prefer they don't, but if they have to, I want them to kick ass. No, so somebody told me they were mad because of his information was wrong, I guess. So I'm gonna push this back. I want to get back to watching. I want to get back to watching the Power Slap competition. So we'll just mute this for now. If you want to watch Power Slap, we're gonna go straight to the matches. So they have a long break in between matches. So in between matches, we'll just shoot the shit. We'll talk. But when the match comes up, we're going to watch. So I rewound it. So it's live right now, but I went back a little bit since we watched the video. By his point of view, then 54 is also propaganda to an extent. Well, yeah, that's what he said that, though. He admitted that he thought 54 was propaganda. He kind of thinks all the serious movies are propaganda to an extent. And the reason that he likes -1 is because that it wasn't propaganda, simply because it made the military, Japanese military and government look bad. So I guess his thing is, if the military and the government look good, it's propaganda. If they look bad, it's more artistic. That's how I interpret it to some degree. That's pretty much that's, to me, in my opinion, that's a very silly way of looking at things. But hey, you know, is that, you know, that's his interpretation, and that's fine. Oh yeah, I'm definitely watching the Super Bowl. Yeah, I have my parents are gonna come over. I have a 15-pound brisket that I'm gonna put in my new smoker, and I'm gonna rock that starting tomorrow night. I'm gonna put that on smoker tomorrow night. I tested it out today on some fatback, or rather, pork belly, and that came out really good. It didn't come out as crunchy on top as I would have liked, but man, it still was fucking good. Holy shit. Rob, who do you think will win the rematch in the Super Bowl? I still think the Chiefs are gonna win. All right. I'm trying to forward this to the first match because we missed a couple of matches already. So I'm gonna take off mute. Put the. So if you guys want to watch Power Slap, just go to the Discord. I love Power Slap. Okay, so I'll let it run from here. Rob, I'll be playing a video game. Couldn't care less about the Super Bowl. Haha. Anybody playing Helldivers? I wanted to check that out. Helldivers any good? I think I'm gonna pick it up. I wanted to play the first one, but I never had anyone to play with, and I heard that it's really not a solo game. But man, I would love to get a crew together and play some Helldivers. Helldivers looks so cool. Yeah, I think I want to check it out. So, Jason, you said that you asked me if I knew why people were mad about the video, and I was waiting for you to tell me, because I know somebody told me that some of his information was wrong. That's why they were upset. Was there anything else besides that? Rob never played Suicide Squad. I had no intention of playing that, even if it was good. Helldivers is awesome. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick it up. I think I'm gonna rock it. But I'd like to get a crew together, man. I don't want to play with randoms. Yeah, no, that's what I heard. That's why I never bought the first one, because they kept saying that the first one was not solo at all. Like, you can't, like, you could, but it's just not feasible. But has anyone talked about WWE in the stream yet? No, but I paid very close attention to that. That was great. How many people we got in the Discord? Oh, we got nobody in Discord. Damn, okay. I guess I'm on my own here. I haven't tried Lethal Company yet. I've been playing Power World. That's been my game lately, Power World. But I already hit level 50 and I got all the legendary pals, so I think I'm good with that until they do an update. I heard in chat where people were saying his words were bullshit or something, and he's wrong about a lot of things, but it didn't really seem like that. Well, some of his information was wrong, but I thought overall the video was good. I thought it was a solid video. He gave his strong opinion, his strong argument as to why he thinks it doesn't work in America. I think there's evidence to prove him wrong, but, you know, that's how he feels. Oh, there's a female match tonight in Power Slap. Nice. I'm looking forward to the main event because it's one guy who's undefeated so far and he hits like a fucking truck. But the other guy he's facing, he's never been knocked down. And they hate each other. Yeah, but Nintendo's not going to sue them. It would be a stupid move. It would be a PR disaster for Nintendo. They basically and this honestly I've seen every pal in the game. There's not enough there for them to sue them. The worst they can do is there's one pal that looks like Evie. The worst they can do is have them remove her, and that pal's not a big deal. They can remove it if they wanted to. It doesn't play a pivotal role in the game. Like you could use it for resources and stuff like that, but if they were to remove it, it wouldn't hurt the game at all. You can play Helldivers 1 and 2 solo, but you can only get to a certain point before you need people. Like, once it increases in difficulty, playing solo is almost impossible. The best pal in Power World is Jet Dragon. That fucking thing is awesome. And it's fast. And it shoots missiles from its fucking shoulders. Yeah, that's why I want to play it, because it reminds me of Starship Troopers. I agree with you, Jonesy. I just sent in a dinner order to my wife. I'm hungry. I got my chicharrones over there waiting. I want to have some. It had a nice smoke ring, and oh my god, it was so good. It was my first time smoking something, and it took 5 hours, man. But it was worth the wait. It's just next time I gotta do something to get the crust a little tougher. Dead by Daylight. I've heard people tell me that numerous times. At the end of the day, guys, once February 29th hits, we are playing one game on stream and one game only. Can anyone guess what that game is? That game is trash. Dead by Daylight. It's trash. Final Fantasy VII. You know its philosophy. You called yes. Did you guys see the state of play for that game? Oh my god! I've never seen a game with so much like content in it. Oh my god! All the mini games, the open. Oh man, I can't wait to play. Rob, other than him being bald, why do you not like the look of Scar King? It's not that I don't like the look. What I'm saying is he doesn't look threatening. Like, I don't know, he looks old and decrepit to me. Like, he doesn't look like a big threat. Now, again, I have to watch the movie. Maybe he does some shit that's, that makes him a badass. But in initial viewing, I just couldn't help myself but laugh. Scar King hasn't grown on me yet. Godzilla's pink dorsal plates, I wouldn't say they've grown on me, but I've gotten over the whole thing about, it's like, it's whatever. Oh, here comes the first match, finally. All right, so like I said, if you want to watch Power Slap, I'm on Discord. I guess I should put the... oh, here we go. Oh, never mind. Oh, wait, hold on. How do I... Oh, here we go. Invite people. All right. If you wanna join the Discord to watch Power Slap, all right. There's the Discord. I'm sure the pink spines will be a one thing needs new gimmick for the next movies. Yeah, true. There are some shots of Scar King where he looks pretty cool, like the shot when he was engulfed in shadows. Yeah, I suppose if they keep him hidden with a silhouette, he'll look badass. Just don't show him, right? He's colorblind to pink and purple, so to him, Evolved Godzilla is shooting bright white. Well, that's pretty cool. Cool. I love Power Slap. It's so fucking awesome. I would never do it. These guys are crazy for doing this. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Can I get a little bit of mango sauce?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Come on,
You
guys.
can bring the bottle if you want. Just make it easier. Okay. Hey, get out of here, big girl. What are you doing? You see my dog's tail? She's wagged. She wants to eat some of this rice. I hope you guys don't mind if I have dinner. Okay, here we go. First slap of the night. Ooh, pretty good slap. Thank you.
Come on, Raven. Well. Come on. Come on.
Go, Raven.
Raven, let's go. Come on.
Raven, you know what? Try and guide him out.
Come here, Raven.
Raven,
Look. Ooh.
go. Go. Here comes the first slap from the other guy. Here it comes. Oh, he hit him fucking hard. I think he's supposed to be bigger than Kong and Godzilla. Oh, he put him down. It didn't seem like that hard of a slap, but he knocked this shit out. Oh, caught him right in the jaw. So what's going on with the Suicide Squad? I already knew it was going to be a bad game, but why are people like going crazy? What's up, Rob? How you been? Just got done watching for a second time. Watching what for a second time? They disposed of Arkham Batman in a bad way. What do you mean they killed him? But isn't that the point of the game? They're supposed to kill the Justice League. What's going on, you? Oh, Monarch. Yeah, Monarch was pretty decent. Oh, he did hit him. Whoa. All the deaths are lame. Superman dies by just getting shot out the sky? That is pretty lame. Who shoots him? Harley Quinn? Oh my god, this is so good. Do I think they'll show Shimo in the next Godzilla vs. Kong trailer? They'll at least tease him. I think, yeah. I think probably. So Batman gets invaded or gets taken over by Brainiac. Superman gets shot out of the sky. I forget by who again? Did somebody answer that question? Flash gets pissed on. All right, but is it all that or is it the game? Let me see. What's the review on I'm checking the review on Steam. It's got a very positive rating on Steam, so I don't know what's the issue. Oh, that was good. It's live service. I don't understand though. It's got such good ratings on. It's got a very positive rating on Steam. All people are saying is that it's a good game, just not worth $70. Oh, okay. Well, I'll never know because I won't be playing the game. I had no intention of buying it. I do want to play Helldivers, though. I just don't want to buy it until I know I can have a bunch of people to play with. Batman dies sitting on a bench while being lectured by Harley Quinn. Wonder Woman is the only character who gets an honorable death. Hmm. All right, so we got our next match coming up. Did you make it on time? No, we've been live for a little over an hour. Yeah, I don't know nothing about Suicide Squad. I don't plan on playing it. I wasn't even interested in it before people started bitching about it. Yeah, I don't know why people are so upset about that. What do you expect from a game called Kill the Justice League? And they're being killed by people like Harley Quinn and Captain Boomerang and all that. They're not going to give them honorable deaths. It's all right. I got Power World. Helldivers. I'm probably gonna pick that up tonight and play it. Even if I gotta play with a bunch of randos, I'm dying to play the game. Rob, did you like Prey? They announced they're making a sequel along with another movie set in the near future called Badlands. I liked Prey in the sense that the way they kind of went back to the roots of what Predator was. Uh, what I don't like about Prey is it's a little bit. It asks you to. It kind of asks you to let your sense of reality go too much. There's a part where like he chokeslams the girl and she like walks it off like nothing, where he should have broke her collarbone. It's just some parts like I don't know. It was good, but I don't think female protagonist is at least not one that small. Like if it had been like Gina Carano or something like that, then I would have been sold a little bit. But that girl was like 90 pounds soaking wet, taking on a predator. I just can't buy that. Yeah, they ask you to suspend your disbelief a little too much. Oh, that was a good slap, but he ate it. Oh yeah, I've been paying attention to all that stuff you with the WWE. Yeah, just played Skull and Bones and addicting yet just doesn't. The last time we spoke, you were debating about buying two real good games, and I come back 2 weeks later, and you're playing Skull and Bones. I don't get you, man. I don't get you. Isn't that like a full price game or is it free to play? I don't know. All right, here comes the next slap. Ah, that was weak. That was a weak slap. Oh, so it's free? Okay, well, then that's different. Oh, he did club him, though. He hit him in the ear. Not supposed to do that. Oh, his eyes getting swollen. Rob, did you hear about the sports app? ESPN, Fox, and Discovery are joining them. Oh, club them again. Joining to make ESPN, Fox, and Discovery are joining to make what? He got away with the flinch. You're still not supposed to flinch, but he got away with it. But that's a club. He clubbed him twice in a row. Yeah, more Jurassic World movies is crazy to me. I don't know why they're doing that. I know Severio's happy about it. Right, Severio? You're happy about the upcoming Jurassic World movies. Okay, here we go. This is going to be actually a full match. Disney are making a sports streaming service. Sports, like just all sports, like yeah. But what we have ESPN. Why do we need another streaming? A sports streaming service. Yeah, isn't it called ESPN? I don't understand that. Like, what's? I guess my question is, what's supposed to be the difference? Nah, Cinecron. They wear cotton in their ears. Oh man, look at his eye though. It's all swollen and ew. Yeah, he caught him on the jaw there. What's going on, Kaiser? I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not sure what it's going to be about, though. That you got me. Oh, so those three channels in one app? But Discovery is more like documentary and nature and mystery and shit. What do they got to do with sports? Ugh, there's too many streaming services. Warner owns TNT TBS for sports. Okay. Oh, so he did get called for clubbing at some point. I honestly wouldn't mind the Halloween 2018 treatment where they make a sequel to the original film and ignore all the other follow ups. Kind of hope they do that with Aliens. Yeah. Has anyone played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo yet? If so, how was it? I plan on playing it at some point this weekend. Maybe we'll do it on stream tomorrow. What do you guys think? I'm gonna be up because I'm smoking my brisket, so I'm gonna be up most of the night. Have you heard of this guy named John Avenger? He is a movie reviewer that is a troll that blocks you if you disagree on movies, threatens to call the cops because of a guy on stream and got flagged for destroying a figure. Never heard of him, but he sounds like somebody that would be fun to watch. A draw, even though he got a club? Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to play it this weekend, so let's get used to seeing me play Final Fantasy VII, because once that game comes out, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing on my free time and stream time. It's very rare that you get a match that goes all the way in this stuff. Grill stream when? You really want to watch me grill? I mean, that brisket's going to take like 14 hours. I don't think you guys want to watch me cook for 14 hours. I'm not even gonna cook for 14 hours. It's a pellet grill, so I just have to set it. I don't have to manage the fire. The fire manages itself. Some people are trying to say that Kong has a metal tooth. It sort of looked like it was metal in that shot of him and Godzilla running, but I believe it's just the lighting. No, there was another close up of him, and it does look like a metal tooth. There is a portion of the movie where they explain. I think it's Dan Stevens is his name. His character is like does maintenance on Kong, for lack of a better term, and I think he does like dentistry work on him. All right, let's forward this a little bit. All right, next match. I could see it going either way. I believe the magazine covering Godzilla vs. Kong mentions Godzilla X Kong, excuse me, mentions the main male lead as a dentist. Yeah. It's metal 100%. They edited the trailer to remove it on other shots. Yeah, it looked, when I saw the picture, it looked like a metal teeth pretty clearly. How much damage you think these guys are doing to their brain doing this shit? It's got to be pretty severe, right? What's going on, Paul? H-Man? Will Kong go Super Saiyan? I don't know. I don't think so. Obviously, Kong goes through some bullshit. Oh, what happened there? Oh, okay. Because he gets the glove, the power glove. He gets a metal tooth. The last progress was he got up to, what was it? Episode, I think I played episode 10 or 10 and 11, and he's no 9 and 10, and he's currently working on 11. I will say this much: I don't like Jill as much in season 2 and season 3 as much as I did in season 1 and 2. There's something about her that made it go downhill a little bit. I don't want to give it away, but I mean she's still a sweetheart, but I don't know. It's just it got a little bit too goofy, almost like she's a 12-year-old in a woman's body, a little cringy. So these are all the preliminary fights before like the 3 main fights. I wonder if Kong's confrontation with Scar King will be 1v1 or if he'll get jumped by the tribe. Nah, I think he's gonna have a 1v1 and get his ass handed to him. Probably get his tooth knocked out, his hand broken. And I think Godzilla is probably gonna get owned by either Scar King or Shimu, which is why he evolves. I'm guessing it's gonna be Shimu because if he evolves to gamma radiation, which is extreme heat, and then Shimu's supposed to be ice, so Shimu probably freezes his ass, and Godzilla's reaction to that in his body is to evolve to a higher threshold of radiation. It's like they both get their ass kicked and they go power up and they come back and they kick their asses. That's my guess. So the guy in the black is like a rookie, and the guy in the blue's been fighting there since last year. Yeah, basically it's Severio. It's just like boxing. Nobody comes to the show until like the main slaps start. All right, let's see the slap because I know this guy in the blue hits pretty hard. Kong got that bling. Decent slap, but the guy's still standing. The director said that there would be a callback for Toho fans, so I'm guessing the Beast Glove will have electric feats. That or Godzilla and Kong talk like Anguirus and Godzilla did in Godzilla vs. Gigan. There's your callback. Wow, these slaps are lasting longer than I thought they would. Oh, he flinched. He gets a free slap now. Gets a free slap. That's 2 in a row. Damn. Ooh, that was a good slap. Scar King better not know sign language the way he would know. I wouldn't put it past him. Remember, they do show Jaya with like that ancient civilization in the trailer. So there's no reason to believe that, you know, that was the form of how they communicated with like the Kongs. So Scar King knowing sign language wouldn't surprise me. Please don't make them talk, but I don't feel Scar King will talk. Oof. Where is Scar King Scars? Maybe we'll get a closer look in the movie. They've only shown him in quick shots, so. Maybe it's not necessarily that he has scars. Maybe he scarred something, like he scarred the Hollow Earth, and who knows why he got that name. Hopefully they go there, but it's a MonsterVerse movie. I don't expect too much story or context when it comes to the monsters. Ooh, botched circumcisions. Eesh. Oh, his mouth is bleeding. Oh, he got rocked. It looks like YouTube is glitching a little bit every time stream cuts for a few seconds, or it ends while it's still going. The time reset. Yeah, I have noticed that, and I'm getting warnings here saying that I'm getting dropped frames. I don't know why. I haven't changed my settings since last time I streamed, so I apologize for that. Let me see what my It says on YouTube that my stream is in excellent condition, so I don't know what the deal is. But I saw that I see here that it cut off too. I don't know why. That's probably why my views are so low now. Because I had like 50 people here earlier. They probably thought I ended the stream. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. The glowing eyes? Yeah, I think he's infused with Godzilla juice. Yeah, if the stream ends, just hit refresh. I haven't ended anything and it's still going. I don't know why it keeps dropping like that, but it's not dropping. It's like kind of like it's faking everybody out. Oh man, that dude's getting rocked though, but obviously whatever is making Scar King's eyes glow is the same power that's infused into Godzilla, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, that's true. It is Warner Brothers, isn't it? Motherfuckers. Can't leave me alone. I'm not even showing anything Godzilla related. I'm sure it'll be normal after the stream ends. Oh, I'm sure it will. Did Apex make the Beast Glove? Will it power up if those blue energy? Yeah, it's doing it again. Yeah, it keeps telling me I'm dropping frames. I don't know why. Did it? Yeah. It's happening at random. Because sometimes it happens to me. Because I always have my stream up. So sometimes it happens to me, but I know you guys are still watching. And then sometimes it's happening to you guys, but it's not happening to me. It's really weird. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh my God, he won? How did he win with a penalty? Johnny Manziel. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. Let me check my internet real quick. Give me a second. Let me see what's going on here. Oops. All right, let's see here. Let me do a little test real quick. Oh. My ping is good. My download speed doesn't matter, but my download speed is 800, 900. But that doesn't matter when we stream, it's the upload speed. Yeah, my upload speed is more than required. I'm supposed to have a 20 megabyte upload. I have 40. I have double the requirements, so I don't know what's going on. But it's not my internet. I think it's YouTube. I don't know what the issue is. It stopped again? That dude's face is swollen. Yeah, well, if I've already been speaking about Helldivers earlier, I said I was gonna probably pick it up tonight and play it. I prefer playing with people I know, but every time I say that in a stream, and people are like, "Yeah, let's play," and then I never see them. So I'm gonna see how I do with randos. Yeah, it's definitely a YouTube issue. My internet is fine. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. If you guys want, I can restart. You guys want me to restart? All right. Hey guys, why don't I restart? Make this a little easier. That cool with you? Well, I just feel bad because if it keeps shutting down on people, that's gonna be annoying. Hold on one second. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is, but you closed out YouTube and then reopened it, and it's been fine. All right, maybe that's the way to go. You guys, maybe let's try shutting down YouTube and reopening it and see how it performs. I am getting error messages on YouTube side too, so I don't know, but I checked my internet speed. My internet speed is solid. All right, let's give it like 10 minutes. Let's see if it's steady. If it's steady for you guys, and then we'll decide from there. All right. All right, let's forward this a little bit. I'm wondering if it's because I got disc. Yeah, but I've done this before, so why is it a problem now? This is not the first time I've streamed with us watching something on Discord. You're fine now? Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a YouTube issue. I don't know what their deal is. Yeah. Sorry about that. Hey, hey James, have you played Power World? It's the it's those assholes at WB admin. Oh yeah, I played the Power quite a bit. I'm already like level 50, and I think I've caught all the pals except maybe like a small handful. Nintendo's not trying to get rid of it. That's not true. Don't lie. That's just, dude. That's just bullshit. They're not trying to get rid of it. That's people stirring shit up. This game's been in development for 4 years. Believe me, they would have stopped it a long time ago. Have you heard about Zuckerberg building that insane house with the bunker and all in Hawaii? Do you think he knows something? It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, they're doing a heavyweight slap now. These don't usually last 3 rounds. Then again, if you think about it, the way things are going on right now, could you really blame anyone for building a bunker, including Zuckerberg? All right, here we go. First slap. Damn. Didn't do anything to him. Is there such a rule as if you do a reaction, you must have footage, even though I can't just show footage, show other people's videos without their permission? Otherwise, I get to smack. No, you can show other people's videos. As long as you provide more content above what you're showing, you're fine. Thanks for the 10, Bobby. Did you close out the app and restart it, Aldefonica? A couple of people have said that that's worked for them. The Jonathan doesn't like if I'm gonna live somewhere and build a bunker, it's not gonna be on an island. I can tell you that right now. Oh, he rocked him. Ooh, man, that was a hard slap. Yeah, yeah, I'm starting to get a lot of errors now. I'm gonna have to restart. This is ridiculous. The thing with it is, I don't know if that's gonna fix it or not. All right, after this match, I'll restart. It's gonna be the same title, so I'm just gonna stop and then restart again and check my settings as I start. Make sure everything's copacetic. Yeah, all that yelling and that dude walked away like it was nothing. Close to a clubbing. Ooh, rocked him that time, but he walked away. Be me, motherfucker. Yeah, it's his coach in the background yelling that. All right, so like I said, after this match, I'm gonna go ahead and restart the stream. I think this is the last slap. We'll find out who wins if he doesn't knock him out, and then we'll restart. Damn, I'm surprised there hasn't been that many knockouts